Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. The Basement Club. In the heart of Eldridge High, where cliques ruled the hallways and gossip was the currency of survival, 4 students found themselves tangled in a fate far worse than any detention: forced collaboration. The school's ancient basement, long forgotten and teetering on the edge of mythos, was about to become the crucible that would forge their unlikely alliance. Eldridge High was no stranger to secrets. Built in 1924 and expanded haphazardly over the decades, the school's underground archives had swollen into a chaotic maze of dusty boxes, faded photos, and brittle papers, a time capsule of every drama, scandal, and triumph Eldridge had witnessed. The problem was, nobody ever went down there anymore. Except this quartet, who had little choice. The trouble began the day Principal Harrow called the 4 to his office. "Your grades are challenging," Harrow said, peering over his glasses. "And your behavior, less than exemplary." The students squirmed in their chairs. "But," began Emily Larson, the perfect honor roll student who had, until recently, been a model example of diligence. Principal Harrow cut her off. "I'm assigning you all to the same project. No substitutions, no exceptions. You will catalog and organize the forgotten Eldridge archives. Completion will earn you community service hours and a possible boost to your grades." 4 students. Emily Larson, the academic starlet with a polished exterior and an icy stare that could cut glass. Jackson Reed, the rebellious skater whose leather jacket was as worn as his scowl. Maya Patel, the artistic loner with wild curls and paint-stained fingers. And Luke Anders, the jock with a charm that masked his insecurities. They disliked each other for reasons both large and minuscule. Emily found Jackson lazy and unmotivated. Jackson thought Emily was a know-it-all who acted like a bossy teacher's pet. Maya believed Luke was shallow and popular for all the wrong reasons, while Luke thought Maya was weird and stuck up, too different to bother with. None of their circles intersected, or even overlapped politely, until now. The awkward silence as they met in the cluttered, flickering basement was as thick as the dust on the shelves. "This place smells like ancient cheese and regret," Jackson muttered. "It's archive," Maya corrected, squinting at a box label. "Not ancient cheese." Emily started unloading gloves, notebooks, and a camera from her backpack with precise deliberation. "We have a task. Let's focus." Luke leaned against a rusted filing cabinet. "Right. Team Basement Club." No one responded. Their mission: sort through decades of school records to create an index. Straightforward, tedious, and solitary. All things they hated about group work. But the school basement was more than just dusty files. The walls whispered secrets, if you knew how to listen. 3 hours in, Maya uncovered a weathered folder tied with faded twine. The paper label read, "The Eldridge Pact, 1924. Her eyes widened. "Hey, you guys. Check this out." They gathered around, hunching over the yellowed pages. The Eldridge Pact was a document signed by 4 families who founded the school: the Larsons, the Reeds, the Patels, and the Anders. Names that echoed their own. They had never been taught about these connections. Family histories were things said quietly or buried altogether. "Wait, that's our families?" Luke frowned. "What's this pact about?" Emily read aloud. "An agreement to protect the school and its community through mutual support, no matter what." Maya traced the words with a finger, feeling a strange spark. "It says they promised to look out for each other, even if conflicts arose." Jackson scoffed. "Sounds like a fairy tale. Besides, my family stopped caring about this school decades ago." Emily's face fell. "My grandmother told me stories about the early days, but never this." "There's more." In the folder was an old map showing secret rooms beneath the school, marked with symbols none of them recognized. "Are you telling me there's a secret down here?" Luke asked, voice low. Before anyone could respond, a sudden crash echoed from deeper in the basement. They froze. Slowly, gravity seemed to shift as the walls revealed hidden passages. A door had been unsealed, dust settling slowly like the curtains rising on a stage built just for them. Emily stepped forward, determination steady in her voice. We have to see this through. For our families. For the school. Reluctantly, the group agreed. They followed the map's directions, pushing aside cobwebs and peeling back layers of forgotten history. What they found was astonishing. A room filled with artifacts, medals, photographs, journals written in spidery ink. Items that chronicled decades of Eldridge's triumphs and dark times. Among the relics was a journal belonging to Henry Larson, Emily's great-grandfather. In the brittle pages, Henry wrote of a clandestine society formed to protect the town from external threats, economic downturns, corruption, and prejudice. But there was a twist. This group had suffered a betrayal. One family, it seemed, had broken the pact, plunging the town into turmoil. Emily looked at Jackson, her voice barely a whisper. The Reeds. Jackson flared, defensive. That's not fair. We don't know what really happened. But this journal blames your family for the downfall of the pact, Maya added. Luke rubbed his temples. So our families were connected, maybe even enemies? Maya shook her head. Or maybe, we're just like the pact said. Bound together. That night, the four of them sat in the secret room, the weight of the past settling on their shoulders like a heavy cloak. Why haven't we been told this? Emily demanded. Because people wanted it to stay hidden. The school didn't want old grudges reopening, Luke guessed. Jackson leaned back, finally speaking with a new gravity. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to fix what was broken. Over the weeks, the project transformed from mundane to mesmerizing. They pieced together forgotten stories, unveiled moments of courage hidden in plain sight, and sprang lessons that transcended generations. Look at this, Maya exclaimed one afternoon. A letter from the original pact members calling for unity after the betrayal. Emily smiled, hope blooming. That's what our families promised. One by one, barriers fell. Jackson opened up about his feelings of abandonment and pressure to live up to a legacy he resented. Emily shared her fears of never escaping the Golden Girl image. Maya confessed her sense of otherness. Luke admitted to the loneliness beneath his confident facade. Together, in the glow of flickering basement lights, they crafted not just the archives, but new understandings. On the last day of the project, they presented their findings to the school board in the original Eldridge auditorium, uniting their voices. The basement club, Emily began, found more than lost papers. We found lessons in forgiveness, strength in connection, and hope in healing old wounds. The audience erupted in applause. Afterward, the four walked out of Eldridge High together, no longer strangers but something much rarer. Friends bound by respect, history, and a shared mission. Eldridge High's secrets, once buried, had become a bridge. And the basement? Well, it wasn't just a forgotten archive anymore. It was a testament to the power of digging deep, inside history and inside themselves. For more stories, like and subscribe.